Hello and welcome to Courts This Week, where I take you through legal developments across the country. Starting off with the Supreme Court cases first. The Centre informed the Supreme Court on Wednesday that it had accepted the Bihar government's recommendation for a CBI probe into the late actor Sushant Singh Rajput's death case. A bench of Justice Rishikesh Roy refused to grant a stay in the Bollywood actress Riya Chakrabarti's plea, seeking transfer of a FIR filed against her from Patna to Mumbai and the stay on the investigation by the Bihar police on the allegations of Sushant Singh Rajput's father that she abetted suicide of his actor's son. The bench granted 3 days to all the parties to file reply and sought an update from the state of Maharashtra on the investigation done by Mumbai police. The Supreme Court refused to close the pending cases against two Italian Marines. Without hearing the families of the victims, the court asked the centre to implicate the victims in the case and said that they should be paid adequate compensation. We want you to pay not reasonable but adequate compensation. You will bring the check here and submit it before this court. Mr. Mehta joined the victim families as parties here. A bench comprising CJI S.A. Bobde, Justice A.S. Bopanna, and V. Ramasubramaniam told Solicitor General Tushar Mehta. In this case, the Supreme Court allowed the National Capital Region Transport Corporation NCRTC to conduct a railway line via in the statutory forest area extending to 1 acre of Millennium Park in Delhi. The bench modified its order of 1996 by which the top court had refused the permissions to initiate the government in the said area and allowed application filed on development of the union seeking construction of a rapid rail transit system viaduct. In this case, the Supreme Court asked the Maharashtra government to place on record the charge sheets that have been filed in relation to lynching and consequent death of the two sadhus in Palghar. While considering a clutch of petitions seeking investigation by either the CBI or the NIA into the alleged complicity of the police in the incident, the bench also sought details regarding the inquiry against the concerned police personnel. The Supreme Court has filed that if a plaint is returned under Order 7, Rule 10 and 10A of the Code of Civil Procedure for presentation in the court in which it should have been instituted, the suit shall proceed de novo. The bench comprising Justice R.F. Nariman, Navin Sinha and Indra Banerjee were answering a reference made to it in its regard. Last year, the bench comprising Justice Deepak Gupta and Aniruddha Bose, noticing apparent conflict between the judgment in Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited versus Modern Construction AIR 2014-1 SCC 648 and Jogender Tuli versus S.L. Bhatia AIR 1997-1 SCC 502 had observed that the former needs reconsideration. It was observed that unless a party can prove that it has been actually prejudiced by some proceedings before the court, not having jurisdiction, it would not be in the larger interest to start the proceedings de novo. In this case, the Supreme Court has affirmed the termination of 8,882 ad hoc teachers in Tripura. The bench comprising Justice U.U. Lalit and Vineet Saran observed that as their very selection and appointments were found to be illegal and invalid, no other advantage can be conferred upon the concerned candidates. In our view, considering the fact that the very selection and appointments were found to be illegal and invalid, no other advantage can be conferred upon the concerned candidates, the bench observed. The Supreme Court has freed a murder victim who served 28 years, 8 months and 21 days in prison. The Uttar Pradesh government had rejected Shore's plea for premature release on the ground that he, along with 20 co-accused, committed the murder of 11 persons with deadly weapons and injured others. The order passed by the Joint Secretary of the UP government further stated that premature release of this kind of prisoner would send a negative message against the justice system in the society. Taking note of Section 2 of the United Provinces Prisoner Release on Probation Act 1938, the court observed that the factors to be taken into account are antecedents, conduct in prison, and that the person, if released, is likely to abstain from crime and lead to a peaceable life. Referring to the reasons stated in the order for refusing remission, the bench comprising Justice R.F. Nariman and Naveen Sinha observed that the order has been passed mechanically and without application of mind to Section 2 of the UP Act. Now moving further to High Courts. The High Court observed that the presumption under Section 29 of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012, or better known as POSCO, does not in any way affect the obligation of the prosecution to produce admissible evidence to prove the essential and the foundational facts. When the prosecution produces admissible evidence to prove the foundational facts constituting the offense, the accused must, at the pain of losing, prove that he did not commit the offense on the principle of preponderance of probability. Justice P.B. Suresh Kumar observed while dismissing an appeal filed by an accused in a POSCO case. The state of Kerala held that anticipatory bail cannot be granted in an NDPS case merely because nothing was recovered from the accused. The court also noted that as per Section 37, Clause 1 of the Act, two conditions have to be satisfied for enlarging the accused on bail. The first one is that the court shall be satisfied that there are reasonable grounds for believing that the accused is not guilty of the offense alleged against him. And the second one is that the court shall be satisfied that there are reasonable grounds for believing that the accused is not likely to commit any offense while on bail. Only of the satisfaction of these twin conditions, the court has the power to enlarge the accused on bail, the court noted. Now, in a huge setback to Baba Ramdev's Patanjali Ayurved, the single-judge bench of Justice C.V. Karthikeyan passed an absolute injunction order, restraining it from using the trademark Coronil. The stern view was taken by the court after it noted that the petitioner company, that is, Patanjali, has already registered the mark. The court noted that the company had not shown due cause in naming their product as Coronil, since there is no direct material products to show that it is for the treatment of coronavirus. Further, it remarked that the company was exploiting the fear among the people by projecting that they could cure the virus. The division bench of Justices Ramesh Sinha and Rajbir Singh directed that the senior superintendent of police, Mathura, to file his personal affidavit explaining as to how the FIR has been registered under Section 66A of the IT Act 2008. The case is next posed to be held on 26 August 2020. As per the judgment of the Apex Court in the case of Shreya Singhal v. Union of India, AIR 2015, under the Section 66A of the IT Act, cannot be registered as the same has been declared to be ultra-virus, the bench remarked. Bench of Justice M. Venkataraman granted bail to as many as 12 from the management of LG Polymers, including the CEO, accused in connection with the Vizag gas tragedy in May. Mitigating two factors dent the gravity of certain extent, ruled the court. It is clear from the material placed by the prosecution that, at possibility the earliest point of time, the company had brought to the notice the district administration its difficulty in managing the bulk storage of styrene in view of the lockdown directive, observed the court. Adding to it is a prima facie interference to draw in order to assess the gravity of the instance. After criticizing the Delhi University for its lagged approach, the single bench judge of Justice Pratibha M. Singh constituted a committee to finalize the process of issuing digital certificates to the students. The said committee will have senior officials from the Delhi High Court's IT team, a member from National E-Governance Ministry of the Ministry of Electronics and IT, Joint Director of DU's Computer Center, and 2 members from the DigiLocker. The single judge bench of Justice Jainath issued notice to the Centre and the Consortium of National Law College Universities on a law graduate's plea impugning the CLAT 2020 notification is so far mandates physical presence of the students at the examination centre. The court has asked the respondents to file their reply in the matter by August 10, 2020. In this case, the court cannot be oblivious to the fact that it is dealing with those persons who themselves are the veterans of the field of investigation and may also have been mastered the art of overacting the process. Justice Sonia Gokani and N.V. Anjaria, while transferring the investigation in Vadodara custodial death case to CID crime. The division bench noted that a month has passed since the FIR had come to be lodged upon the several orders passed by the court, and that after the inquiry conducted at the ends of some officer, there appears to be no possibility of tracing the corpuses. The whereabouts of the corpuses not revealed till date. This was it for this video. Thank you for watching.